All right, we are here. Feel good, man. A lot of changes, man. A lot of new things going on that way.
All that red.
Season 2, episode 7.
7.
And we talking about debt. And yeah, I definitely been in a lot of it lately, man. So I want to set this up for y'all. So as we discuss debt, I want to talk about, the amount you accumulated in college to become a teacher, the amount you've accumulated since you became a teacher, and how you manage it. You know what I'm saying? I also want to throw that part in for people watching, other teachers watching, who also get paid once a month and struggle with that once a month payment, like myself, which is why I got a part-time job so that I can get paid more than just once a month, Now, our investments pay us when the dividends come on the quarters and everything, but I needed something to carry me in between the month to month. I just feel like that was too slow. So, who gonna pop this off for us?
I can if
All right, let's do it, Mr. McMillan. Let's talk about that. Let's talk about that. And this man has cleared off plenty of things. So this
I gotta keep something on my refrigerator right here. This is our debt thing right here.
Oh, okay.
So you said every day. I got to. Now you said how much debt did you have accumulated before you became a teacher?
Yeah, on your road to becoming one, how much did you accumulate in college?
How much debt did I acquire after I became a teacher?
And how much did you, since you become a teacher, how much do you have now? And how do you manage it? How are you tackling it?
Okay. So, and when I was in college, I met my wife in college, and that was in 2010. I met her 2009. We became official 2010. We got married in 2016. We had $79,321.97 of debt. All right. That's how much we had accumulated. On my journey to becoming a teacher, this is right before I decided, right when I passed my content, right when I passed my content test. That's how much debt we had. And that was July 2018. We started this, I guess you can call it this debt-free journey, the Dave Ramsey thing. We started it October 19th, we started in March 2018. So we had $79,321.97. When I became, so we started paying the debt. We started out paying $500 extra a month to take down this debt. $500 extra a month. That's what we was doing. I quit my job. I started as a sub in November 2018. All right, so subs don't make nothing. Booty. We make booty. All right, sub. I sub. I subbed it, and yes, I subbed, and I wasn't making no money. I got on as a monitor, 2019 at my first school. Monitors, $20,000 a year. That's what we were still paying $500 a month to the debt. Okay, I became a teacher in 2019. 2019. That fall. All right, so this is I just ended my second year. We have paid off everything except for my student loan debt. All right, and my student loan debt.
You had to start 2018 fall if you're going into your second year, because 2019 was just this past fall. So it had to be 2018.
Oh, you're right. So I started the fall of 2018. So I became a teacher. I started making my big boy money for the first time. I was excited. Never made that much money in my life. When I got my first check, it was like a refund check from school, because that's how much our refund was. So it was like a refund check. When I started making that, we started paying like $2,000 a month extra to the debt. We was paying 50% of our income to the debt. This is how disciplined we was. This is how intentional we was to get rid of it. Cause we was like, man, we got this money that we could be doing other things with. And we got this debt, credit card debt, both of our cars, her student loan, my student loan, a personal loan. All right. All of that was $79,321.97. At this point right here, all right, so I'm managing, the way we manage it, we take care of all of our expenses basically with my school check, all right, and we can pay our debts with her check. Well, right now, we still have leeway to pay off, to have some money left over after I get my school check. So we probably like at 50% debt, 50% that's how much we spend on all our other expenses.
Okay, see, one thing you didn't talk about though was you said the word discipline, but you got to explain that a little more in depth because, I'm not gonna lie, being a young black man, I had made something considerable to what I make as a teacher because I had a job where I worked a ton of overtime, and that's how I got to like just under what I make as a teacher. And for the first time, I didn't have to work over. Well, we don't get paid overtime anyway, but I am like the person watching this who have a hard time struggling, saying, okay, yes, I want to pay this debt, but at the same time, I remember sleeping in my car to graduate college, bro, and I want to reward that. And I know in your mind, you thinking the best way you can reward yourself is to be debt free. That's cool and all, but even in our pre-show, I like that truck I just test drove this morning. So what do you say to the teachers who are in a position like that? Because I see, a lot of other stations and channels talk about, how they paid off this debt, but how do you fight that monster of not going to purchase that one thing you have been wanting to purchase?
It's called delayed gratification. That's all it is. Delayed gratification. You say, I want this thing. Okay. My wife do it all the time. And that's how we make adjustments. She say, I wanted us to live in a cheaper area so we can have cheaper rent. She wasn't with that, and I somewhere wasn't with it. I like to stay in nice places. Once we got to these luxury apartments, we didn't want to stop living in them. Okay. So we said, okay, we're going to live in this apartment. We're not going to turn on that. That's what we're going to do. We're going to live in this luxury apartment. But then we're going to have $50 of blow money for each of us. All right. We're not going to eat out no more. We're going to buy all our groceries and we're going to cook at the house. We're going to take our food. We're going to prepare our lunch. We're going to meal prep. We're going to take their lunch to eat every day for lunch. So if you want something real bad, if it's like a car and it's something you got to pay every month, you got to decide, since I want this, I'm going to give up. I'm going to have to do something else. I'm going to have to do something else about everything else I'm doing. So if you want to have this car, but you're still serious about paying off the debt, and this is where I don't agree with Dave Ramsey. Dave Ramsey would never say you to do that, right? But I understand we want to live the way we want to live. We want to buy what we want to buy because we worked hard for what we have. You got to sacrifice other things to still accomplish your goal. That's where the intentionality come up with. What's more important? What's more important? Having a lot of things or getting rid of the debt so I can have what I want later? It's delayed gratification. Like we talking about in the pre-show. I got something I want to buy real bad, but I'm not gonna buy this thing until I hit a goal. So set goals, be intentional about doing what you want to do. If it's getting out of debt, be intentional about getting out of debt. Set a plan, write the plan out, put it on your refrigerator, all right, so you can see it every day. And that's all you think about. And you get rid of it. It's all about being intentional.
So yeah, I'm with that. To be honest, mine go back as far as college as well. Like I met one of my mentors, and I don't think I've ever told y'all this story, but I'm gonna tell you the story. We were at UNT, and Clay, you were a part of this story because I said, bro, I'm done, bro. I'm tired. I'm about to drop. I'm out of here. I can't. Life was too hard, dealing with being a dad already and dealing with being the only one in my family to make it this far. So I didn't have somebody who I could call and, hey, hold your head, you know what I'm saying? Or, hey, it's going to be all right in a minute, So it's me taking the butt whoopings by myself. So I didn't have somebody who in my family I could call. And so I remember going to my mentor And I text Mr. Brown and I said, hey, I'm done. And he said, nah, you got greatness in you. And I could hear his voice in the text. He may not even remember sending me the text, but I remember the text. And I was sitting in front of my mentor, and he said, all right, let's look at what you got going on. Because I had already wrote it down. For those of y'all who don't know, I keep a journal, and I journal things, and it kind of helped me realize how far I've came. You know, those nights where I felt like crying, those nights where I almost lost my mind, you know, because something happened. It's something about writing it out that helps. So I went to him, I showed him some of it, and he said, okay, this is where you're struggling. You know, you don't even have a schedule or a plan. And then I hear you say that, McMillan, and I'm like, wow, that resonates to that story. So my journey was crazy in that sense. And so one thing I wanted to also, you know, discuss a little over was the debt part, like, which is our topic. But when you grow up going without so long, when you finally get that opportunity to get something that you've been wanting since you were a boy, it's pretty hard to take that away, you know, because it wasn't on my refrigerator, but it was here in here so long. So the first opportunity I got, I went and got it, you know. And they say, well, what's it? It's been a few things, you know what I mean? And I think I know I still struggle with that. Like, you know, like I told you, my biggest issue is cars. I love cars, man. Like that's kind of that's my comfort zone. That's my peace, you know, whether I buy a raggedy one and fix it up or I buy one that's already nice. And I mean, even now, man, my my girl who y'all just saw in the back, where you at? Downstairs in my car. You know what I'm saying? Like it's my spot, you know? And so when we talk about that, like on my journey to becoming a teacher, I accumulated uh a total of like 80,000 worth of debt from school. 80 racks, okay? 80K. And I felt cheated because, for one, I should have been on an athletic and academic scholarship, but that's another episode that we are definitely going to have. Okay. But once again, being the first one in the family, I'm out here taking all the butt whoopings because nobody else took them in my family that I could call and they could walk me through what to do and what not to do. So on the journey of accumulating that 80 racks, there were some times I didn't have a choice. I just had to do what I had to do to get to the next day. And this is for any teacher or any person watching this. Trust me, you're not the only person out here because I listen to these guys who are these money gurus. They didn't come from where we come from. I don't care what they tell you. They didn't come from where we came. So whatever with that. But even now I have become more intentional because I do put my goals up. I remember hearing Erica Badu say it's something about writing it down, putting that paper and pencil together, and it work out. And so I've been doing things like that for years now. And even in my journal, it feels good to cross those things off the list that because it keeps you focused. And I keep mine where I see them every day too, not just in my phone, because they don't. And for me, when I type it in my phone, in my notes, in my keep notes with Google, it don't. That's nice, but I gotta see it on paper somewhere. So I got a wall that I look at. You know, I got the desk calendar that's hanging up on the wall too. And when you see it every day, it's something of it engraves itself in your mind. Because I remember, I had two cars before I became a teacher. I had two cars on my desk. Both of them were coupes. And this guy walked past my cubicle and said, "Oh man, you got some really nice cars." And I said, "I don't have them yet. I don't have either one." He said, "You gonna get one?" I said, "Yeah, I got one of them. It's outside right now." I looked at it every day that I went to this job that I didn't even want to be at. I just knew, a fresh college grad, I needed something to stop the bleeding, you know? So I took this job. I wanted to get something out of it because my mind frame has always been make sure you have a plan for your money because that company knows how much money you're going to make them by doing your job. You getting your hourly wage, you know, your first job out of college, $14 an hour, 15, 17, 20, whatever. They know how much money you're going to make them. That's how they know that they need to hire another person. It's not just the workflow. it's the income that they getting as well to be able to pay somebody to make them something. So you are an investment. And so I've had the mind frame of make sure you have a plan for your money because they got a plan for you. So my girl, look, she'll laugh now, but when I first met her in college, we were working at Ross, and she was like, "Why you work so much? Why you always here?" And I was like, "Man, I'm trying to buy these 22s for my car." And she laughed, and a lot of people laughed, until I pulled up in them with them 22s on my car. It was the goal that I set. No matter how ignorant it may seem, I probably wouldn't do that now. I was younger then, of course. I still may sit to whip up on them things, but it's not as important as it was to me then, young kid in college or whatever. But it's those goals that you set. It is about being intentional to tackle that debt. And so I've recently just started paying on my debt during this pandemic to kind of come out on the better side once this is all over. Got real serious about doing it. I only have 3 huge purchases left on my list that I wrote years ago. One of them is my truck. The other one is our wedding, and then our house. Like those are the only 3 big purchases I have left. My boy's college fund has already been started, so that won't be a big purchase. It's already in there. It's not fully funded. It's not done, but it's what I'm saying. It's already accumulating and growing. So, and as far as tackling it, I told you guys in the other episode, and my girl can vouch too. Like I literally run the budget like 3 times in a week because I got frustrated trying to run a budget because stupid things kept happening out of nowhere. Mr. Brown can attest to this. We went to Horseshoe Casino years ago, and we drove down there, and we got back, and I couldn't find my car key. I had a Lexus, could not find my car key. So that was money that I had no idea that I'm finna pay. And my granddaddy said, "Young man, you always got to keep a stash, young man." And I said, "Papa, every time I get something stacked up in my stash, I get hit with something that I was not expecting. How do I
wouldn't have
deal?
had it. But you wouldn't have had it
If I wouldn't have been throwing that stash back." That is very true. And once that stash clear me out, I go right back to putting it back in there for the next one. So it is very important, no matter how many times your stash get hit. And to be honest, pay yourself first. And they say, "Well, what about my other bills?" Even Warren Buffett tell you he went some times where he paid them bills when he paid them. I heard him say this out of his own mouth. He was like, "Man, them bills will get paid when I pay them because I'm gonna pay myself first. Because if not, you just volunteering, And so I began to pay myself first, and it started out real live. This is a true story. I put up $3, and if y'all ever notice, man, I'm always wearing rubber bands, something. I wrapped $3 in a rubber band. The next time I got paid, I wanted to put it to a decent number, so I put $2 more with it. Then I got to 5. Then I put $4 and I got to 9. And I was like, "Oh, that's a yucky number." So when I got paid that next time, I put 6 and then I'm at 15. And I kept doing this. Until the point I had $700 wrapped up. You get to the point where you start to tell things no. That cup of coffee, no. Them shoes, no. And you start to watch your stash just grow. And the feeling is so good that you be like, "You know what? I'm good. I can do this again. I can continue on with this." Now, the part that hurts is when you see something you've been wanting for a long time and they put it on sale, you looking at, you got enough money to do it. Because what we do, we get $1,000. We get $2,000. What we say? "I got 2 racks. You know what
wrong
I'm gonna do?
mindset.
You know what I'm gonna do? I'm gonna spend 500 and I'm gonna still have 1,500. And then you end up having 1,300 left. You say, "What I'm gonna do? Well, I'm gonna just spend that 3 and then have a stack." And then before you know it, the whole 2 bands gone. We all do it. We've all done it. It's just the word no has been so helpful and so powerful in this journey to get my money right. Mine is not right now. It's not perfect. Trust me, I am probably worse off than some of y'all. But the fact that I'm always trying to fix it and I see increases and I do work a part-time job, but before this COVID stuff I was. And it's really been a testimony, to somebody who just feel like they can't listen to Ramsey or, the stories of Rich Dad, Poor Dad. They feel like, oh, those things don't work. Well, Rich Dad, Poor Dad is in my top 5 most favorite books, and I'm listening to The Alchemist. I'm listening to The Alchemist right now. I finished Rich Dad, Poor Dad in like 2 days.
That was a book that changed everything.
Right, because when I finished it in 2 days, it was because I was already thinking these things, but I could not figure out how to put it in words. And that book took the words out my mouth, and I could relate. And it was even to the point where I look at a pair of shoes, and these shoes $200. If I make $20 an hour, man, that's 10 hours of work for them shoes. And I start to look at stuff like that, and it changed everything. And it was like, them shoes ain't worth 10 hours, bro. I'm good, and it helped me develop that word no.
That was that financial awareness.
Exactly. And then that delayed gratification part came because of the word no, and the fact of I can right now see my stash growing, see it building back up, and so my advice for somebody watching and you trying to figure it out, write it out, like put it all in front of you and choose. I chose the lowest thing I had on my credit and hit it first.
Mm-hmm.
And then I seen it fall off. See, look at that. Look at the cross throughs, man. Like, this is not something you can't just write a budget. You can't just write a budget one time at the start of the month and think, oh, you good for the month. And then when something stupid happened, you see this budget never worked. That's not how a budget works.
You adjust it.
You have to. It's a machine. It needs to be tended to for it to keep working, So, but all right, I don't want to soak up all the time. Mr. Brown, what you got for us on this day?
No, this is something I know you're passionate about. So one thing I want to call back to, bro, I remember sending you that text because it's just the way our journeys work, since we were sitting on that pew when we was 10 in the same church. You know what I'm saying? I walked into your family church when I was 10 and it was like, this dude right here cool in the mud. You know what I'm saying? Coming all the way from Jacksonville, Florida. But my thing is, that same text I had to send you, I had to tell myself that in the mirror about a week before that. About a week before that, I'm looking at debt. UNT telling me I'm this much money short and I got 2 weeks to come up with it. And, I'm the first male in my generation to get a degree. Like, my uncle got his, like, eventually, like, he, like, meandered through and got it. My mom was a valedictorian, so she went to school in the academic I should tell you the story of Vonda. Academic and athletic scholarship. Got to school, said, I don't want to play sports. I'm here for these books, and graduated in 3.5 years. Okay, so her college struggle and mine, not even close. You know what I'm saying? I was there 3.5 years before I figured out what I wanted to do. I had to narrow it down to 2 things when I got there. But after my second internship, I said, I can't do this. I cannot. I have all the skills to be viable here, except for the social ones, because I can't be fake with these people. And they not finna come in here and smile in my face, be backstabbing, and think I ain't gonna say something to them in a meeting. I said, I'm not built for this. I already see I need to be a business owner, not work at someone else's business. Because when you're the owner, you can do what you want. I was like, I'll learn the laws. I won't break no laws, but I'm gonna be me. So I see this is not my path. I need to go somewhere that's more. And really, once I switched to Kenice on the education path, I struggled and fought through those business classes. And when I got there, my brothers, y'all know what it is when you find your purpose. You can feel it. It's like, this is where I'm supposed to be. This is exciting to me. And that the first day of class was all the way up to like that to my last day of class. When I'm in my last class with Coach Baker, and it's like, bruh, I made the right decision. And he said, you're born for this. This is you. You're here to coach. As far as that, I made my first, student loan payment of this year. My amount changed. I'm not happy about it, but I went from not being happy about it to when I was in there typing in my phone, typed in the payment amount. I was like, I can make a double payment. Let me go ahead and do 2 of these real quick. Bloop, knock it out. You know what I'm saying? And I'm paying my car off in a couple months. I had some personal loans, they gone. I had tickets out the wazoo from UNT because, you know, the cops may or may not be racist. They're not cops. Take it back. It's 2 racist cops at UNT. One of them ain't there no more because he ain't alive no more. And another one, he probably still somewhere being racist. But, you know, hopefully he
Facts.
or whatever. Hopefully we see him on Twitter or whatever. But, you know, I got those taken care of. Took care of that. So it's nice to have that gone. So, you know, I'm looking at my budget. And, you know, like y'all said, when you cross those things off, the delayed gratification is not just being able to know you can go and buy a pair of shoes, but it's also knowing when you pay all your bills and you look, ooh, there's still a good amount of money left. Because, you know, I was homeless before I graduated. You know, if it wasn't for my partner that let me catch the couch, I'd have been riding the Honda. Because I wasn't too big for that. And the only reason I was catching this couch is because he was helping me move out of my crib. I'm moving my stuff back to mama crib, but I'm coming back to Denton today. Mama live in Dallas. I'm coming back to Denton because I still got to finish. You're like, where you going? I'm like, I'm just going to park somewhere and sleep. No, you're not, bro. Come to the crib. But my thing is, I was so laser focused on the goal. I don't care where I sleep. I can go to the gym for free. I can shower there. I got clothes in the trunk. I work at the cafeteria.
Did this.
I'm the cafeteria manager. I'm never going to be hungry. I don't care. Look, I got 6 months left. I'll be homeless. I don't care. Like, we good, baby. I go home every weekend. My last class is on Thursday.
Yeah, you really do. In order to manage this debt, you really do have to get to a point of humility,
sacrifice,
you know? And sacrifice. You know, that humility and sacrifice and discipline are things that can take you a long way, not just with debt. I meet so many people with that I ain't finna attitude, and I quickly distance myself from them because they end up missing opportunities that can propel them forward. But they have this I ain't finna attitude.
And you ain't finna be successful.
That's
what you ain't finna do.
At all.
You ain't finna help yourself with this statement. As soon as the department states, I ain't finna, like, oh, this isn't gonna be helpful.
Something that we didn't also mention was the village. The village.
It does take
iron sharpens iron.
And you know, we talked about it as well.
Like, someone bring me into your village, bro.
See, Brown, you talked about too, like how you were the only male, the first male in your family. Me and my girl talked about this too. You know, she had a village, and all I had was really my mama. You know, that for a guy, we get told figure it out so much, whereas to the girls, they are here. Now, I don't want to discredit any female that made this journey on her own. I'm just saying, in my circle and in my journey, that's what I saw the most of. You know, guys were told, figure it out. So they wonder why girls graduating college more and going on to get more degree, because they have more support. As guys, we are just told, hey, just figure it out. And they say, oh, it's going to make you a better man. Some men, yes. Others, they going to quit. And then that potential is gone. Exactly. That potentially is gone. But all right. So for the first time on this show, in the history of We Just Might Get Fired, we done messed up and gave Brown a segment of his own. Now, I think we should all say a quick prayer before we get to this segment, but we're going to go with it anyway and hope for the best. But his segment is called This Day in History. Mr. Brown, the floor is yours. Take it away.
It's just really simple. Actually, the floor is in mine. It's a simple question today, guys. I got 2 events, but I think one of them is pretty cultural, and you might have heard it today if you've listened to the radio or been on Twitter. Does anyone know what happened today? I believe in the year 1994. Does anybody kind of remember? Yeah. On this day,
June 17, 1994. That don't even ring a bell. Was this the Rodney King stuff or something?
No.
Oh no, that was early. That was early.
That was
94. What was happening in 94?
Yeah, let me check and make sure my date is right on 94. But I know it is in the 90s. Here we go. All right. Yeah, here we go. There we go. And the year for this is 95. 1 year off. 95.
That make it even harder then, because we were a little bit older, but that sounds like a Cowboy Super Bowl winning.
Nah, this is around the same time as the finals, the NBA finals, I think.
That is a Cowboys winning year. Okay, so today in sports history, there was a lot of things going on. There was a U.S. Open going on. There were finals going on. Michael Jordan won against the Jazz. But no, the iconic thing that put all those things that would have been on TV off TV, today is the day of
OJ?
Bronco Chase, baby.
Oh!
Yo.
No
So,
way.
bro, and it's one of my earliest memories with my family. My dad was a sailor. He was usually gone 6 months out of the year. This is one of the few times my entire family was around the TV.
Oh, you know what?
Remember, that's one of my few memories of him being at home and the TV being on. My dad was very much against the TV.
Did they drop the Ford Bronco today? Because I saw an article. They said they were going to
coming out later. It's coming out later this summer.
Oh, okay.
They was trying to get it. They was trying to get it ready. They ain't slick. They were gonna drop it around this time, but COVID got in the way.
That OJ documentary.
We're gonna drop it. Yeah.
The OJ documentary showed me everything, man. They said it shut down that chase. Like I think they had to pause the finals. They had to do something. They changed the TV to the chase. It was crazy.
No, it just put it off. Like people just didn't see it. Like,
I remember watching it.
It was game 6. It was game,
right,
and they just put it off of TV. Imagine what would have to happen now. Like now they would do the picture, and then after it went a while because it was West Coast time, so the game was already kind of towards the end. So they were able to kind of make it work. But regardless, they put it off. There was a conclusion going for the U.S. Open, either a quarter or semifinal, not on TV. Like OJ was on all channels, Telemundo included. He was on everything. But, I didn't realize, and I watched the documentary and I watched the show, OJ.
Yep, both.
I watched both because they came out by the same time. And it was just amazing how much people loved them. And I still don't know why. I see like the old movies and the commercials. And I'm like, what are y'all seeing? Like he was like, I guess he was charismatic. I'm not sure. But he wasn't Muhammad Ali. Like they hated him, but you could see how a dude like that could command the room. I'm like, but it's OJ. He's not even funny. He's like,
right. He seemed like a cool dude.
What else you got? What's the other one you got for us before we get out of here?
Well, like I said, the two are so juxtaposed. So we got that, OJ doing his thing, and then today is the day that the French government dropped off the Statue of Liberty, and they began assembling it today. I believe that is what today is. It is that day. So that's great.
June 17th.
Hey, what a wonderful segment, man. That's pretty informative, dude. How long did it take them to put it together? Do we know?
Years.
Oh yeah, definitely. I knew it took a while, but I just thought that was just something interesting to ask. All right, well, season 2, episode 7. We about to get out of here on that note. We just might get fired. I got my man, Mr. Brown, Mr. McMillan. We are out. See you in the next one.